Welcome to Yes to I Do, your go-to podcast for all things wedding planning. Hello everyone, hope you're all well today. Today we're going to be discussing our luxury package. So we're going to be diving deep into the nitty-gritty of what our luxury package entails. Shall we start?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, our luxury package is more your traditional day. So it's what most people kind of think what wedding usually is. So you have your ceremony, then you have your wedding breakfast, drinks reception, and then your wedding breakfast, and then you have your evening. But what makes it luxury? So that would be what our venue entails. We've got plenty of different things that we offer in the luxury package. So you've got your first 50 packages in terms of drinks, which we'll come to. We've got lots of different options that you can do throughout the room. So we've got the fairy lights that are included, your love letters that are included. We've got all the greenery that's around the room. We've got your choice of 2 different ceremony spaces that you can choose depending on the weather and the time of year. And you've got the different options in terms of table plans. So you've got the trestle tables, you've got the round tables. So it's many different options as to what makes it a luxury package.
Absolutely. The luxury package is, there's a lot of flexibility within it, but it is that sort of traditional full day feel, isn't it? But of course, as with all of our packages, you can take traditional elements out or put things in. Obviously, that's totally flexible on the package. So, starting the day off then in the stables. So Rolo, our preparation suite, is open from 9 a.m. on the luxury package, as with all the other areas of the venue as well. Ceremony spaces are open from 9, both of our preparation suites and the main oak barn, as well as all of the outdoor areas as well. So inside the stables, you would settle in at 9 o'clock with hair and makeup, all of your party, and then we would bring down a pre-ceremony brunch for up to 10 guests. We do pastries and fresh fruit, and this is all included as part of the luxury package, so you have that to look forward to on your wedding morning. You also have orange juice, water and a tea and coffee station, and you can add some fizz on with your coordinator at your final meeting if you'd like to add that on too.
Absolutely. We also, then you can dress the space if you wanted to yourselves, in which case you'd have to dress it from 9 a.m. and that would be the actual reception area as well as the ceremony space. So you can decorate it however you prefer. And we would be there to help with the little touches such as name cards, welcome signage, as well as your favours, if you've got any favours, that is.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a nice relaxed start to the morning, 9 o'clock start. And then typically we would see ceremonies anytime from 12 really on this package. However, we do recommend the most ideal ceremony times are between 1 and 2 o'clock. This just it allows you to have enough time in the morning to get ready comfortably here at the venue, and then also
enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
As well, it means that there isn't sort of a gap in between the daytime and the evening celebrations, and everything flows nicely. So they're typically the timers that we would recommend. However, you can go earlier, like 12 o'clock. You can even go later, such as 3:30, 4 o'clock.
It's quite flexible, isn't
Very
it?
flexible on timings, so you really can have sort of the day to suit. So in terms of the ceremony space then, we have got 2 ceremony spaces on site that you can use as part of your package with us. The first one is our outdoor pergola, which if you've already visited us, you may have seen already. So the aisle is through the 3 jasmine arches. Then you have all of your guest seating in the first patio area. And then up the steps is where our couple would be saying their vows. It's a lovely space, but it is a weather dependent space, as it's all open air, very, very beautiful, surrounded by our horses in the field. But yeah, it's all weather dependent out there. So please do bear that in mind when you're making those decisions. We also have our indoor ceremony barn, which is a converted 17th century dairy barn. A beautiful, beautiful space. It's got exposed brickwork, beams, stained glass windows, greenery, fairy lights, and a working log burner as well for those beautiful winter weddings. We have couples use this space all year round, and it really is a stunner. And of course, you know, we do have lots of couples who get married at church as well. So we do have the local Whittington Church, which is a beautiful, beautiful place to get married. But of course, couples may have their own local church that they wish to get married in and then travel to the venue.
Now, with the outdoor and indoor ceremony space, some people have asked us, can we have some live music there? You absolutely can if you want to. You can have, we've seen guitarists, we've seen singers, pianists. Harpists. I've had a string trio before. So we've had plenty of options. But if you don't want to do that, that's absolutely fine. We also have a speaker on site that is Bluetooth connected. So if you want to just choose a playlist, for instance, and have a specific song you've got in mind, you can absolutely do that, and we'll just get it Bluetooth connected.
So as part of our luxury package, there is a full drinks package included within the cost of the venue. So if you've already booked with us, you may already know this, but there is up to 50 drinks packages included in your luxury package with us. So what does this include? So for the drinks reception, which is the time after your ceremony, so that time where people enjoy maybe garden games, music, have some photos, there will be 2 drinks per guest for up to 50 guests. So that's a choice of Prosecco, beer, sangria or Pimm's, and you guys would choose that with us at your planning meetings as to what you may like as the choices for your day.
You can mix. If you wanted, say, Prosecco or beer, you can do Prosecco and beer. You don't have to just choose the one option.
Yeah, no, you can mix different things up, whatever suits your style and the way you want your day to feel. Then when we go in to sit down for the wedding breakfast, each guest would have half a bottle of wine on the table or 2 bottled beers. And again, this is a choice that you would make with us at your final meeting. We would discuss wine choices and that sort of thing as well. And then finally, you would have a glass of Prosecco each to toast. Of course, as I said, there's up to 50 packages included. So if you had exactly 50 guests, but 2 of those were non-alcoholic guests, this can all be swapped out for either non-alcoholic or children's packages. If you have over 50 guests, we can add on more alcoholic packages for you.
Or
non-alcoholic packages, children's packages at an additional cost. And if you'd like any more information on that, do get in touch.
Absolutely. Now, other than drinks, we've got food, 'cause we need to eat. So we've got, in the luxury package, you'd have to choose between 2 of our wonderful caterers. We've got Dove's Delights and we've got Jenkinson's. Now, they're very different to each other, so it would depend on exactly what it is that you're looking for.
Both so yummy, though.
Very yummy. Don't look at their menus when you're hungry because they are really long.
Yeah.
So for instance, we've got Jenkinson's. Now, Jenkinson's do more like a 3-course meal. They've got plenty of different options. They do a really, really nice host roast, for instance. So that's where you'll nominate a carver. Someone can go up and cut the meat. So that is actually really fun. And it's really nice to see people nominating someone to take that a little fancy role. But they've got plenty of other options on there. So they've done all around the world options. They've done noodle bars before. They've done plenty of different things for what it is that you're looking for. So they've done like pizzas in the evening and so on. Whereas Dove's Delights is very different, but equally ridiculously good. So they do more like your grazing tables. They keep it more nice and relaxed. But they do like pork pies, Scotch eggs. They do like hams, and they do like different surf and turfs. They do very different options in that sense. They've done pie and peas in the evening. So they've kept it more casual in that sense. So it all depends on exactly what it is that you're looking for. And we would recommend liaising with them directly in order to have a little more detail in terms of their pricing, their really long menu choices, which are very delicious. And we are more than happy to help where we can as well in that.
Absolutely. And with Jenkinson's, of course, you would be invited to the venue for a food tasting if you were opting for them as your chosen caterer. Dove's Delights, they do lovely little boxes that they do send out to you as well as a taster. So you can absolutely explore that with them too. So 2 really, really fantastic caterers to choose from. Of course, food is an additional cost to the package as this is done through one of the trusted caterers and they are external companies. So you do deal with food menus and pricing directly with them.
However, you can also have a couple of extra little add-ons should you wish to. So say you still wanted, for example, if you wanted an ice cream cart, Dove's Delights do an ice cream cart. And so this is unfortunately the only time that you can mix the 2 due to food hygiene reasons. We have to keep the kitchen separate. But so if you've got Jenkinson's, for example, as your main caterers for the day and you did want an ice cream cart, you can absolutely add that on with Dove's Delights. And then we do have our in-house add-ons as well, should you want them. So, for instance, once again, we've got crisp boxes, we've got donut towers, we've got ice cream tubs ourselves. We've got plenty of options as well that you can add on should you wish to.
Absolutely. But obviously, in terms of the catering for the day and night catering, it does have to be the same caterer.
Yeah.
Lovely. So that's food.
That is good. That's made me hungry.
Yes. And moving on. So the accommodation. So one really vital aspect with our luxury package that lots of our couples love is that all 4 of our on-site rooms do come included within this package. And it does include a lovely, warm, full English breakfast the next morning as well. So we have got 4 rooms on site: Alfie, Scallywag, Dinky and Chester.
Just out of curiosity, which one's your favourite?
Alfie, 100%.
Oh, mine's Scallywag.
Is it? Oh, very interesting.
Fun word to say.
So all of the rooms are ensuite, underfloor heating, and they have Wi-Fi, everything like that, king size bed, and also there is a blue sofa in each room which can be made into a pull-out bed if there are any children staying over. So we can sleep up to 16, which would be 2 adults and 2 children in each room. Otherwise, it would just be 2 adults if there were no children staying over. The next morning, obviously, everyone would make their way to Misty, our breakfast room, which is just next door, and they can sit down to enjoy some continental options. So we have got toasts and cereals, and then everyone would be treated to a lovely full English breakfast.
And we do have a tea and coffee station in there as well.
Yes, we do. So if you need any tea and coffee throughout the night, Misty's always open and you can pop in and get any of that you need.
Absolutely.
And then it's a 10 o'clock checkout.
It is.
Onto the honeymoon.
Well, you'll check in as well as the day of your wedding at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And then your breakfast is served at 8:45.
That's right.
So when you've booked your luxury package, what happens after that? Well, your wedding coordinator is typically assigned 6 to 8 months before your wedding day. So we are there to set 6-month meetings with you. And then we also set a final meeting with you, in which case we get all your lovely plans and we see how you're doing. And in that process as well, we are also there to ask any questions. We're there for any advice along the way. And then even before you get an assigned wedding coordinator, we are all there for you to ask any questions. It's no such thing as a silly question. Feel free to ask us anything that you like, because we are more than happy to help in any scenario.
Absolutely. And so I think a lot of our couples say to us, is there anything that you've seen that is especially amazing? Are we missing anything? What more can we do? This is something that we hear really, really often, isn't it? Because people always feel like they've missed something.
Absolutely.
So I would say, let's start with the pitfalls then. So the first thing I would say is a common mistake on the luxury package is a cake cut time. So typically we would say around 7:30 is a great time to cut the cake. We want to make sure that everything can be cut to serve, ready to go alongside your evening food with your chosen caterer. And so this, the 7:30 just allows the time to be able to do that. So that would be the first thing. I would say the second thing would maybe be the number of people around each table for the wedding breakfast. Yes. So around 8 to 10 is absolutely perfect on our round tables. Yeah. On our trestle tables, you can seat 3 on each side. So this is especially important because obviously the less people you have on a table, the more tables that you need, the more decoration you need to provide.
And also you'll find that it looks a little bit empty as well.
It can do, yeah. And obviously, unfortunately, there can be some dropouts nearer to the day if there are people who are poorly or anything like that. And so you may end up with sort of 5 or 6 around a table, and it can look a little bit bare. So we would say as much as you can, although table plans can be very, very tricky, try to get around 8 to 10 people around each table.
We have had people ask, can we have more than 10? We do recommend not doing so, just due to the fact that you'll find that you're knocking elbows quite a lot, and it is a bit of a tight squeeze if you have more than 10. Yeah, we need elbow room when we're eating. So just make sure that you've got enough room there for your guests to be able to not feel squished on a table.
No, absolutely, yeah. The other thing I would say is providing packages for all.
Absolutely, yes.
So obviously there are 50 included in the package already, as we said before. But if you do need to add any on, we do recommend looking after those people who maybe are non-alcoholic as well, or children. So obviously packages for children can be quite tricky because some of them may be really young and some may be more towards teenage years. So we would say, consider whether they need a child's package or a non-alcoholic package just to make them feel included in the day. So that is something else to consider, I think. And then the last one, I'd let you take this one.
The last one would be, think about the spacing on your top table.
Yeah.
So we do find that some people try to add a little bit too many people on the top table to the point where a couple isn't necessarily in the middle. So we would suggest, so make sure that you've got the right amount of people on there. Obviously you want your nearest and dearest. Some people have sweetheart tables, to be fair. But when you do have a top table, just ensure that you're nicely in the middle. Yeah. Just so, because it's your day at the end of the day.
Yeah. And the way to work off that at our venue is obviously each of our trestle tables seat 3 on each side. Yes. So if you started from the middle, obviously typically our couple would be in the middle, so that would be a table of 2, and then you can work outwards from there, and it can be either 2 or 3 on the trestle tables. But yeah, it's super duper important to be in the centre. It's your day, and that is definitely something that we see quite often, actually. It's something that maybe people don't consider when making their table plans.
And the last thing you want as well, you don't necessarily want to just one of the other reasons you've got to think about it is because you don't really want to have a trestle table in the middle where you have the chair leg in between you and your new partner.
Yeah, it's nice to be on the same table, isn't it? And we definitely try to help people with that and everything. So, but there are lots of people who can be seated on a top table. Parents, some people like to have maid of honour, groomsmen, children as well. So yeah, definitely consider sort of how many to have on each side to make sure you're in the centre of the room. Yeah, and then going on to the next bit then. So what are quickfire luxury package wins? So what is going to elevate your luxury package to the next level?
Well, we've seen a few of these actually, and they really are really lovely. We've had some people bring in menu cards for their tables, as well as QR codes for people to scan and be able to take some photos. So those ones on the table are quite nice because you do find that your guests will wonder what we're having to eat. And so, you know, having that menu card on the table already, it's quite nice for them to be able to go up and get excited about the food. So it is lovely for them to see what they're going to have.
I agree, yeah. And another thing I really love is when people are announced into the room as a couple. I think that's really, really sweet. We can do that for you, or sometimes it is really, really nice if you've got a friend or family member who's a little bit more confident.
You give them that lovely extra role.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, people cheer and celebrate as the couple come into the room, and I really love that. And it's also nice if you add a song in there too sometimes. So
we've had some lovely ones. I had a couple who so the groom had like an Italian heritage. I think he grew up in Italy, and they had an Italia song, which was really, really lovely.
That's
and
so
everyone
sweet.
got involved. They all grabbed their napkins and they were like,
I always find that when people do pick songs, it always means something to them, because obviously the first dance is typically quite slow, and you know, it's more of a, you know, a slow dance. Whereas with this, it can be something that's really upbeat that means something to them, and I just love that.
It gets everyone involved. Everyone's cheering for when you walk into the room, and it's so exciting. It's great.
I think as well, a lot of our couples do this. Favours is a big one. And I think it really elevates the thought sort of behind it on the tables. We've seen candles, we've seen jigsaw pieces, Polaroids with personalised messages on, which I love. Seeds. There's just really, really nice touches that your guests can take away and just enjoy.
We've had some like key rings as well. We've had some lovely things.
Yeah, we've had some really nice favours.
Sweets. Some people have brought sweets.
It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it is just really, really nice to show appreciation for your guests being there to celebrate your special day. So to recap, what is included in our luxury package? So access time to the venue is at 9 o'clock, and that is to the main oak barn, both of our preparation suites, either of the ceremony areas, whichever you have chosen, and all of our outdoor spaces as well. It also includes the pre-ceremony brunch for up to 10 people in Rolo, our preparation suite, and the snack basket and tea and coffee in Maverick, our second preparation suite. It also includes a drinks package for up to 50 guests, as we discussed the details of earlier today. It includes all 4 rooms in our on-site accommodation, including a delicious full English breakfast the next morning, and finally our magic mirror photo booth. But it also does include all of those other little touches as well, doesn't it? So our beautiful love letters, the twinkly lights, lighting, heating, log burners if necessary,
or patio heaters as well.
Patio heaters, greenery in the main oak barn. It includes everything. The only additional things to consider with this package are additional drinks packages and also food as well.
So what's an ideal itinerary for a luxury package? So it would all start obviously at 9 a.m. where you have access to the venue. So you get nice and ready, and it would all depend on what time your ceremony is starting. So for example, if you had your ceremony at 2 p.m, your outside bar would open at 1 o'clock. So your guests can have a drink, have a catch up, and then it would close 15 minutes before so they can finish up their drinks and then go see you say I do at 2 o'clock. Then your confetti would happen at about 20 past 2. Then after that, you would go into your drinks reception at 2:30.
Absolutely. So typically on the luxury package, drinks receptions last for around 1 hour, and that gives you time to have photos, enjoy garden games or music, anything that you've got planned for your guests. So that would take you up to 3:30. At this time, we would ask guests to seat in the main oak barn ready for your entrance, and also for the wedding breakfast, the best part. So typically we would ask guests to seat at around 3:30 and to be seated by 3:45. Then we would announce you into the room, and dinner service would either begin at 4:00, or you can have speeches at this time as well. So please do bear this in mind. But let's say, for example, we're going straight in for the dinner service. So dinner would start at 4:00 and the service lasts for 2 hours. So after the 2 hours at 6:00, you would have your toast and speeches. This typically lasts around half an hour, but again, it does depend how many speeches you are planning on having. But we would probably say this will be wrapped up by around 6:30. Yeah. Then we would say it would be ideal for your evening guests to arrive at 7:00, and then the party really does start. Yeah. It means that it does avoid any sort of gap in between the daytime and nighttime celebrations, and it means that you are diving straight into the evening portion of the day as well. Then we would say that the cake cut would be ideal for 7:30, and your first dance following that at 7:35. After that, that's pretty much all of the formalities, and obviously you can discuss evening food times then with your chosen caterer, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Yeah, absolutely. And what would be, Maggie, your one piece of advice for people planning a wedding on our luxury package?
I'd say enjoy it. Make sure, to be honest, I'd say have a spreadsheet. So have a spreadsheet of everything. Yeah, have a spreadsheet. Make sure you know what people are going to have, who's not drinking alcohol. Make sure you've got those little details, and just enjoy it along the way. Take it one step at a time, and feel free to ask questions. Don't be scared to ask any questions, because we are happy to help.
Mine's very similar, actually. Yeah, I would say planning is key on the luxury package. I think if you plan far enough ahead and in enough detail, nothing should feel stressful on the day. Obviously, we're here to help as well. Any questions that you have, no question is too silly. Exactly. Please do ask away. But that does wrap up today's discussion about our luxury package. And I hope that it's been helpful to all of you who are booked in with us on our luxury package. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Yes to I Do. Make sure you hit subscribe and share this podcast with fellow brides, grooms and wedding enthusiasts. Ready to bring your dream wedding to life? Visit our website, cotonhousefarm.com, to book a tour of our breathtaking venue or schedule a planning meeting with our expert team. See you next time.